The Architect Brain Drain. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee because we're going to talk about, well, my profession and the brain drain that is either occurring or I've just reached that age where, well, my contemporaries are jumping ship. Now, I received an email from a viewer in South Australia who wanted me to recommend an architect to him. So I thought, okay, I'll ring up one of my old friends from my university days who lives in Adelaide and see if he's still practicing or if he'd be interested in a referral. And, well, he's not working in the profession anymore. He's jumped ship to become a project manager. And I thought that was interesting because on the project I'm working on now, the project manager is a former architect who I worked with years ago when I first graduated from university. And then also one of my first ever staff members. No, our first ever person we ever hired. She's jumped ship and left working for architects to go work for a builder. And my mate in Adelaide, he knows 3 girls from university who all left the profession and went and worked as project managers. And I thought, this is interesting. This is interesting. We have to have a look at what's going on here. So I thought I'd put a poll to the viewers of the channel. And, well, here are the results. Now, I know a lot of you are in the construction sector. And, of course, some of you are going to be architects or building designers. And some are not. But you can see here, of the 521 people that have voted, 12% of them have left the profession, 3 times those that the number that are still practicing, which is 4%, and 83% of you aren't architects. I mean, so that's. I recall years ago when I was talking to older architects about the profession, and I think back just around the GFC, about how many people leave the profession when times get tough. We were in a lucky position then. We were growing a brand new firm, while other firms were shrinking because we happened to be getting a whole lot of mining work. And other firms dependent on developer work, they were getting smaller. So yeah, I mean, we're seeing a decline here. And let's have a look at some of the comments from people. Helen is going maybe 25%, but not a recent thing. That's been happening for 20 years. Yeah, I think we definitely are getting a brain drain from the profession, honestly. Civil, construction, mechanical engineers, chemical, as well as architects all become project managers in Australia. I think that the PMs I've worked with that are the best are those that have actual experience in the construction industry, those that jump from a non-related field over to try and manage a construction project. It's going to be tough. And I've had, there's a whole project management body of knowledge, the PMBOK, and it's fantastic. I'm really pissed off, honestly, that of all the years I spent at university, we didn't have one subject just going through that. It's typical universities thinking they're knowing it better. But nevertheless, that's a fantastic body of knowledge. But the number of project managers I've met who act like they've never even seen it, I mean, project managers do not exist in the new gig economy. I doubt that. What's the difference between a doctor and an architect? An architect's mistakes are there for the world to see, but a doctor buries their mistakes. Well, no, we hide them behind trees. Or it's a feature. It's a feature. The lucrative project management positions have risen as buildings become more complex in design and more risk. Well, I wouldn't say it's just design. It's also an increased legislative burden to get a project across the line. I'm going to do another video looking at the housing livability standards now that have come in the building code. That's going to make housing more expensive because it'll make it more complex. Going forward, architects will likely become more rational in their design and seek to limit management, coordination, and staffing as a bid to win work and respond to the belt tightening of the development sector. I wonder, that's an interesting take. But more rational design doesn't win you awards. It doesn't get the marketing. I wonder. I can't see that actually happening. I can see a reduction in the responsibility of the profession. I can see it just completely becoming purely design focused, and even the coordination as a separate role, adding more complexity to it, which is nuts. Stay in it, supply and demand. Caleb's going. Yeah, I'm not I'm not contemplating leaving the profession. I was talking to my mate in Adelaide, and because here's the reality of it. Within I think 2 years as a project manager, he's making more than an architect with 15 years experience and 2 awards under his belt. So there you go. And the stress is still there, but not the same. And I've kind of fallen into a position now where I've got a quality of life that I really love. I mean, the other day, I rocked up here to do my work in my office at 9:40, 10 o'clock, and I spent the morning with my children on my lap teaching them how to read. So, I kind of figured out things a little differently in what I consider important. Dennis, I worked for a year after graduating and decided to be a builder. Now I do project management. Architects will be history. That makes a lot of sense. Architects will be history shortly. AI will crush the sector. And my response was that is AI can't read a client's mind. Because the challenge is, on this job we've just worked on, the briefing was virtually non-existent. All of actually, I don't think there was any briefing. And we put together 3 options, and this is the strategy we're doing moving forward. A luxury option, a mid option, and then a really cost-effective option to put on the table to present to the client. And that worked quite well. But often, the clients won't really know what they want. You need to help them and put options on them, and it's an iterative back and forth process to develop an idea. Steve is going, besides you, Heise, the only architect is George Costanza. Yep. Brock, you made a few properties on The Sims, so I classify myself as an architect. I actually had a student once when I was tutoring. He did his project in The Sims. He used The Sims to design it, but it's not. You don't have as much flexibility. It is kit bashing, but, to put an idea together, why not? My daughter loves The Sims, and Sims 4 is free now. Why do you work where and you can just walk around talking bullshit to everyone, a project manager? Nah, a good project manager shouldn't do that. I suspect the project manager will be the first in the construction industry that will be affected by AI. If anything, the automotive algorithms will help them prepare their work, hopefully. Sunrise, not an architect, however, I left my chosen career simply because the stress and overtime was not worth the money. That's a big thing in architecture. It's very ego-driven, and the whole culture of working insanely long hours. It's such bullshit. Rachel and I now, occasionally, we may need to do crazy hours to meet a deadline, but we're doing it surrounded by our family. We've been bringing our kids to work for forever. I don't give a shit if people don't, clients aren't happy with that, then you're not the type of client I want to work with. Most normal people appreciate it, particularly now since COVID. So, but yeah, the stress and overtime is not worth the money. It isn't. All you need with regards to money, honestly, all you need is enough to not worry. That's it. I think the goal should be, and this is what I want to try and encourage the kids, is to build up enough of a passive income stream that they don't need to be stressed anymore. And that's it. That's it. You don't, any more than that, you don't really need, do you? I wanted to experience the easy life of women generally have, so I got a government job. Sunrise is being a shit stirrer. I don't think women have an easier life. I heard being mediocre as you do switch career to become a middle manager is a popular choice. A middleman is a popular choice. Yeah, I guess. It depends. In an unrelated topic, any recommendations for an app I can use to attempt to plan my tiny backyard? Zero experience. SketchUp. That's what I said, if you haven't used it. Let's have a look. Let's see. If ever you want to play with anything. There you go, SketchUp. It used to be owned by Google. They sold it. Does it cost money? A yearly subscription for SketchUp. Oh, boy, that sucks. That sucks. Oh, well. Everything is yearly subscription. But I guess it works out cheaper, doesn't it? For commercial use. There you go. This is a fraction of what I have to pay for my Rivet software. And that's about coming due again next month. That's several $1,000s. So, what else? I'm the architect of my own demise. Alfonso doesn't think architects will make good project managers. It depends on the experience. Blobfish King, I'm not an archie, but a surveyor, and I want out of the profession. And finally, I have to look up Monty Python Architect's sketch. I think I've seen that. It's been a while. And if you're doing architecture wrong if you don't have a side hustle of developing a few of your own stuff for a flip. There you go. You need to get into the flipping sector. I don't know if I'd be happy with that right now with how slow everything's going. But I want to show something else to you. This was actually shared to me by the project manager I'm working with. She got this sent to her from NAWIC, and that's the National Association of Women in Construction. And they've I think, sent something out comparing professions. So an architect, building designer, okay? So if you're interested in this career, everyone. So it's, what can we draw? Great, okay. Oh, I can't. Here, we'll do it with purple rainbows. Is a skilled professional who is involved in every stage of building projects, from design right through to construction and maintenance. Well, if they pay you to be involved in every stage of the project, we can add value, but some people choose not to. I know we had one job we did, a little gymnasium refurbishment, and the number of ex-staff that have used that gymnasium refurbishment because it was their contract administration, they're still coming back like 5 years after. I mean, good on them, get registered, but still, just shows you guys. So, additionally, an architect may work with several other people on a project, including engineers, tradespeople, building estimators, and noise. It is a collaborative process. You need to have a good team working together to get the outcome. The whole fantasy of like a solo architect doing it all and saying, do this, it's bullshit, guys. It's not like that. They need to possess excellent communication skills and may require negotiation skills to balance the client's desires with concerns such as complying with environmental standards, building codes, and the budget. This helps to achieve an optimum outcome within the parameters of each project. So, you might enjoy this job if you enjoy problem solving and STEAM subjects. Or is it STEM? You enjoy being creative and have an eye for detail. You like variety and accuracy in your work. You can use advanced mathematics, enjoy design and technology. You enjoy working outdoors as well as in an office environment. Oh, I mean, I guess you got to go outdoors for all your measure-ups and your site. And yeah, I guess there's an element of it, but it's not like a park ranger where you're working outdoors. So, to become an architect, you need to complete Year 12 and earn a required entry ATAR. I don't know what that is. I think OP 5 or 6 it was when I went through. Complete a 3-year undergraduate degree before continuing on to pursue an accredited Master of Architecture degree for 5 years of academic instruction. And then, to become registered, you need to do 2 years of postgraduate experience, meeting all your logbook requirements. Then you have to submit your logbook where you meet the requirements. This is where my former staff are coming back and using the contract administration experience they got working for Heise to register, because in the big firms they're working at, they don't get that experience. So then you've got to submit your logbook, sit an exam, and then do an interview to become an architect. And the average pay, I'm assuming this is graduate, but maybe it's not. Shit, it may not be. Is $85,000 per annum. 85 grand per annum. So, what about project managers, where all these architects seem to be jumping to? So a project manager is responsible for procurement, which is what architects used to do, execution and completion of a project. The project manager is in charge of the entire project and handles the project scope, managing the project team, as well as the resources assigned to the project. They ensure the work is completed on time and within budget. They organize logistics, delegate work, and keep track of spending. I was doing a tender submission for the government, and the project manager had pretty much written that we had to provide all of the risk mitigation things. And I was in a really foul mood, and I responded going, well, under the PM BOK, this is your responsibility, not ours. They didn't like that. I don't think they were qualified, now that I think back. Anyway, you'll like this job if you enjoy working with a variety of people, you enjoy problem solving, you have an organizational ability, you're comfortable working to deadlines, and you like variety and accuracy in your work. Now, to become a project manager, You usually need to gain a qualification in building and construction project management or construction management. The Cert 4 in building and construction project management is available at registered training organizations. You can do a TAFE certificate to do it. I mean, that's probably not bad. I'd just do the PMBOK qualification, and I think you can sit the exam. That'd probably be harder. The average pay, $130,000. So I'm not aware of the legal liability that a project manager takes on compared to an architect. But as an architect, we have professional indemnity insurance, there's an Architects Act, and we have significant liability that we are responsible for. That just adds to the stress, guys. So, I mean, there we go. Let's have a talk about this one. So perhaps, you know, I'm middle-aged now. Perhaps I'm just at the age where all my colleagues and people I went to university with and people I know, they've gotten to that point where they've gone, to hell with this, I'm out and jumping ship for better money. And some are saying better hours and less stress. My mate in Adelaide was telling me that the women he knew who would be, they'd be going to their architect boss going, oh, can we have flex time? Can I take time off? Can I drop the kids off at this? There'd always be a lot of pressure and anger and resentment for them doing that. Even the PM I'm working with on this job, she was telling me how whenever she took sick leave, they'd get angry at her because the projects still need to get done. So how are you going to make up the hours when you're taking sick leave rather than probably working from home? So, and then the point of that story I wanted to mention was these PMs who were architects asking for the same thing from builders that they're working for. No problem, don't care, work wherever you have to, just get the job done. Bit of a different mentality. So what do you reckon, guys? What do you think? I mean, which career, where should I steer my kids? I'm probably encouraging them to get a trade, at least pick that up. What do you think, guys? Is this a brain drain or just a normal part of the profession? Am I just getting old? I think that's it. Anyway, take care. Check out Heise BIM or Heise Does. And if you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, you can support us on YouTube or Patreon. Use our referral links via Pocket Squares or call us if you need an architect. Take care. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.